Hello, 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 stream. Doing something a little different this time. So, yes, I appear. And I will have you appear in a second. Somewhere, somewhere.
I don't think I ever sent you my PNG.
That's okay. We use a uh, system called Discord Reactive Images. So, if you have anything set up, and I'll link this to you in a sec. Uh,
Goodness.
it will work. It always has default, which is just whatever you use in Discord, which is really large at the moment. So we'll shrink
Oh,
you
good.
down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, that's my that's my little elf model. Yeah,
Yep. So I'll give you
it's
the link.
adorable.
It is. It is.
I will
Uh,
have to use this definitely for my streams. This is gonna be perfect.
yeah, it's really helpful. I started using it when I got a bunch of people together to do E3 way, way back a couple of months ago now. And it was just so helpful. Um, Plus,
Oh,
people
definitely.
can change the image if they want. Like, um, if you use mine, then you'll see like me with my mouth closed when I'm idle, and when I start talking, and it goes white. Um, I have my mouth open, so it looks like I'm opening and closing my mouth. So
I love that.
yeah, it's really helpful. We
By the way,
use it
I
a lot.
this
So
is like the first time I've seen your VTuber model, and I do have to say it is so cute.
thank you. I owe it at least 60% to my artist. My artist parent is amazing. I wanted them to make me another outfit before summer ended, but they've been so busy that I haven't been able to get that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've just been trying to get my channel ready for re-debut. I'm going from a 3D model to a 2D model, and I'm having an
Ooh.
entire channel rebrand.
I know that how I ah, I can't talk today. I know how that is. I didn't do 3D to 2D, but I used a generic 2D when I started, and then I got my own. So
Hmm.
and with that came a whole new layout and all sorts of goodies. So it was fun.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. Of course,
Speaking of
I also
goodies,
oh
how about we get into this and see what kind of goodies we
oh
can
yeah,
pick up for a character?
I'm getting distracted. Yep. So
That was a very, very subtle way of gluing us back into where we were supposed to be.
yep, I can get distracted very easily. So um, you are gonna be joining the test crew. So
Heck yes.
I will add a new character to the test crew.
Awesome.
Um, oh, that is not what I want. Not what I want. Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. Because that is actually not my account, but that is an assistant of mine's account. So let me actually log in. Uh, okay, we're back.
Awesome.
Properly logged in again. I don't know why it locked me out,
I don't know.
but um, all right.
Now,
I gave you the
do
link
you okay, great.
so you can get into Roll20, um, and then I can give you the character sheet, so you can literally go along with me.
Where did you send that link?
It is in TTRPG. I sent two. One for Roll20 to join, and then the
Oh,
character
that was
creation.
okay. Scroll up. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The is it buried a little bit? Hold on one second. Wait. It's fourth. That's the.
It was
I see
at,
the new Mystic page. It's
oh,
the new
uh,
armor update.
sorry, the test crew. The test crew one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, wait.
Yeah,
Am I just blind? I mean, I could be. Oh goodness.
yeah. I said the wrong place. It happens. I'm in too many
Okay.
places. Too many places.
We're good.
Okay. And
Let me just make sure my settings are good so I don't dox myself.
well, I'm hiding you on the stream at least. So
I appreciate that.
but uh
Lots of broadcast. Nothing. Nothing because we're using Discord.
yep,
There we go.
yeah. Some people change their name to match their identity. Though not everyone does. So
Yeah, I'm also going to um
okay.
at least my VTuber name. So there we go. Okay, that should be fine. Yes.
Okay. So so it shows up correctly. Let me try going back in. Huh. Oh, you're at the bottom. That's why I can't find you.
It's fine.
There's a lot of
Elliriana,
people
there
in
we
here now. So
go. I'm sure.
yeah,
Ah, there
I
we go.
do. I do both campaigns out of one. Um, how do I want to put it? Well, it's what Roll20 calls a campaign, but I'm rolling two sets of characters out of it. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it works. So there are a lot of names to go through. So you should see the blank sheet now,
Yes,
and
I
I
do.
think it's probably the only thing you can see. So,
Yes.
all right. Now, uh, I sent you another link there, um, which was for the wiki, because the wiki holds all the details. All the details. Because
And
Celestia is a completely custom setting. Um,
I see.
yeah, I'm doing some crazy things at the moment. Um, I just did an update to armor and weapons, uh, including changing all the prices. So it's a
Goodness.
thing. Um,
Does sound like a thing.
yes. Well,
All right, so races, classes, and backgrounds.
yes. Those are the basics. So first, we probably want to pick um, a race. That's probably a good starting place. Now,
Um, I always like to pick my characters based on like what most common people would know about the world. So is there like something, can I know a little bit like general information? Like, is it
um,
mostly aquatic or is it like,
well, uh, if that's the case, let me hop over to the city that, uh, well, no, you're not based off that. Actually, I'll tell you information about where you guys basically are.
okay,
Um, they, for the test crew, at least right now, because the test crew consists of a series of one shots. So
mhm,
you do like a single dungeon adventure, or something along those lines, and then you hop to another set of characters. Uh, so we can test out different parts of the world, and I actually have it so that there is a coherent meta plot behind everything. So, though neither party has managed to get to any of those yet. So,
I see.
but it is all interconnected. They are in, for the test crew right now, the city of Salt Marshes. Well, the city in this. Yes, I can talk. The city of Marshtown, next to the salt marshes,
Okay.
which, as you might sort of be able to tell, um, the salt marshes are um, sort of a swamp, but it's a saltwater swamp because they're along the Emerald Sea. Uh, the Emerald Sea, probably our closest analog, is the Mediterranean. So, in fact, you're on the southern side, so it's kind of like being in like northern Africa.
Okay.
So this
So,
version of Africa would be a little bit stranger. Well, first of all, directionally it's flipped, so it opens onto an ocean on the eastern side of the continent, and you guys would be in the southwestern part. So,
mhm.
sort of the analog of like the Middle East, but
Mm.
not like culturally. Um, culturally, it's much different because directly below you guys are, is the Elven nation. Uh,
Mhm.
so, there's a heavy, like, Elven influence nearby. Um, Other than that, the current group is in the Balazar Empire. Um, it's also sometimes called the Holy Balazar Empire, um, mostly because of its unique government. Um, they have an empire, in I really can't talk today.
It's
They
all
have
right.
an emperor and a set of nobles that run things. However, they also have a theocracy that is sort of like it's sort of like if you had the UK, but
Mhm.
the UK has like the Queen and um, uh, the noble houses, and they make up one part. And then rather than having like the commons, they have a theocracy that runs the other half of the government. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
uh, it is not entirely peaceful. Um, the two don't always get along. Um, and oh, I should mention, Celestia. The big difference for Celestia than normal D&D is that while there are gods and the gods physically act on the world at times, they create avatars at times, and there's been huge upheavals that involve them. Uh, they don't give spells to their followers, so there are no clerics per se. Uh, so churches are full of people that are not, like clerics, uh, which is a big change. So you have a lot of people that are like fighters or, mages that are part of the church. Um,
Mhm.
so it's it's a very different church setup than like normal D&D. Um, and each has each region has a sort of different take on the gods.
Mhm.
for the Balazar Empire, that is called the Divine Nine, because there are 9 deities that are part of the deities of the wheel or the pantheon in the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that pantheon is the sort of good pantheon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there are 9 deities, so there are 9 divines. Uh,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Kind of
they.
is. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Um, how do I want to put it? It's kind of like the Catholic Church in some ways. At least,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for the follow. Um, so, um,
Hello, Nines. Welcome to the stream.
um,
Nines is a good friend of mine, so I announced that we were live in my Discord channel, so we might have some of my followers show up. Sorry.
cool. It's all cool. Um, uh, yeah, where was I? Oh, they're kind of like the Catholic Church. Um,
Mhm.
they, well, at least like, ooh, oh no, Nightbot ate your person. Ah,
It's okay. Nines does like to spam a little bit, it's fine.
ah. Hey, Gamepedia, welcome, welcome.
I've just been looking through the races a little bit, just kind of seeing it, and you've got some interesting races. I'm looking at the tiara. Is that how you pronounce it?
Basically, uh, I usually like don't say it, so in my head, it's just by spelling. So,
I took my best stab at it.
um,
Oh
if
my
I were to
gosh.
say it, I would probably say, Chara.
Chara?
Uh,
Okay.
probably. So it probably could be said to go anyway, depending on what part of the world you're in. So any way you want to pronounce that.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
they look really cool.
yeah, they're all pretty unique. A lot of them are um, based around other fantasy tropes. Um, I wanted to give some other characters some time to shine,
Mhm.
besides what we see in D&D. Um, I just helped make a Northern character for the main campaign, um, because I have a guest coming for the main campaign. So, um,
Ooh.
yeah, I helped them
Hype,
set
hype,
up a
hype.
Northern. Um, but they're fun. They're sort of a combination of like dwarves and halflings with like the creativity of gnomes. So that's probably the best way to think of them.
That's
Um,
what we call a triple threat.
well, uh, they don't get like the illusion abilities of illusion ability of gnomes. Um, but you know, they get a lot of like dwarven and halfling traits. So
Mhm.
um, they're very strong, and very lucky. Um, and they're one of the few that don't get like a +2 stat. They get 3 at +1. So they make really good physical characters. Not so great like mages. But thank you for the follow. But yeah, uh, that's them. Um,
Hello, Gandalf. Welcome to the stream. Another
um,
one of my people, sorry.
I figured. I figured. That's fine. You're all welcome here. Um,
Having fun.
yeah.
I think the alert box is out of
Oh no.
screen just a little
Wait.
bit.
Um, some for well, I used to do ultra wide streams, so uh, it was at
Mm.
ultralight settings, and every so often it seems to reset itself as far as my overlays go. They want to think
It's all right.
that they're still ultrawide.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Uh,
There we go.
where
That looks better.
there should be another part of the alert, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is.
So, with the area seeming a lot more like Mediterranean kind of deserty area, you've got the swampy, salt areas.
Yep.
As I've been looking through some of these, I think there are a couple of races that kind of jump out at me, as far as like what might be there.
Okay.
Um, I could be completely wrong, but the Rathos looks like it would fit in that area very well as the Andressa. Um,
Andrusa.
let's see. The what?
Andrusa.
Andressa, sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I also like the Chara. Like I think one of those three might be.
Just so you know, the main crew, as Gamepedia can tell you, um, is uh, currently helping some Rethos. So it
Oh,
would
so
make
if I
sense if you were like
yeah,
a
so
city Rethos, because you might come to help your uh, rural cousins, basically. Well, these ones aren't exactly rural. They used to live underwater, uh, but they're forced out, so they retook a old Rethos fort that was in the salt marshes.
okay.
Uh,
And
so
you said
that would
we
fit.
basically uh we basically are doing a bunch of one shots for this.
Yes. This is the first. So these ones are going to be level 3 characters. So you have basically most of the starter abilities for every class. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's also enough to get most people their like subclass. I think everyone in the campaign has a subclass. I'd have to double check. I believe so. Let me double check. Uh,
Okay.
Tempest does.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I think that actually settles well into where you currently are. I want to make a character that, would be easy to slot in because I know as a DM, you have certain difficulties already in trying to get a character into the party, especially figuring out like their wants and desires. And I think by choosing a Rathos that actually slots in well and gives us a very easily managed way to bring that new character into the group.
yeah. Um, Really, any of these I could get in pretty easily. Um, I don't think I'd have a problem with any of them except maybe elves. Uh, that
Yeah,
takes a
I
little
was
more
reading it.
stretch.
I kind of figured based on like the environment and things like that. The only other one that I said I was really drawn to was the Chara. So
Chara,
I'm just trying
um,
to see
I have not
based on what you
had
have.
I have not had a Chara character yet. Uh,
All right. Well, then you know, in the honor of testing, let's do a Chara.
okay, so I'm gonna pull up their page, and I'm assuming you've read most of this.
Yeah, most of the Chara at least.
Yeah. so I'm not going to go over it too much, except for chat. For chat, I will let you know that the Chara are feline humanoids, mostly like humanish, with touches of cat. So they're not like the Tabaxi, who are more cat-like and less human-like. The Chara are more human-like than cat-like. Um, so it's easy for them to fit in human cultures because they look a lot like humans with a few differences. Which is actually why they don't have much for like culture or history, unfortunately. Uh, and those will be something useful in a sec. But let me go and grab the racial traits. Oh, and I should probably. Okay. I think you already did that part. Nope. Okay. Lots of typing. Sorry.
We have catfall.
Yep. Just so I don't accidentally mistype something. Oop, actually, there we go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
An enhanced hearing. Now, question. Like for example, with this enhanced hearing, right?
Okay.
Say you took a class similar to Rogue, which would give you proficiency with hearing or something. Do you do double proficiencies on
Um,
your
for
game?
like a rogue, the first thing would be that you don't have oops, you don't have sorry, my audio
It's
died.
okay.
It does
I
that
was like,
at random
it's okay.
times. I don't know why. Ah, yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say that rogues have a wide range of skills. So if you get like if you get perception as a racial trait, um, that just means you can put it into something else. Um,
Yeah.
However, rogues do get expertise, so they get sort of double proficiency, all on its own. So, however, I have an awful lot of rogues at the moment. Um,
Oh,
three,
okay. All
three
right.
of the main cast are all rogues. So,
Oh no.
yeah, that's why I wanted the guest character actually, because they are a barbarian, a um, ranger, and 3 rogues.
Oh goodness. You don't need any more rogues.
No, no, I think we
Oh
have
goodness.
rogues covered pretty well.
All right, time to switch my character idea to three badges and a trench coat. Let's go.
Oh, here I got that one. Okay, good. Um, I added the stealth to that, and I think that's it for those. Oh, I should double check that we have movement speed. That'd be useful. All right. So we have race, and we're gonna keep that up because we're gonna do rolls for our stats in a little bit. Um, so the next thing we probably want is a class.
All right, let's go.
All right.
So we
Um,
got barbarians, fighters, rangers.
yep.
The rogue
And
is a note.
yeah. as you can see, I've split these up into categories as well. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Nightbot ate someone again.
Oh
Sorry.
dear.
It's liberal about caps. I think it's supposed to do like more than 5 caps in a row, and it, you know, uh, eats stuff. But it can sometimes be a little flaky. And I went through
Wizard
like
Ari.
3 bots before I settled on Nightbot for being the least hyperactive.
It's all in the settings, I think it is, but
Yeah, I played with
yeah.
them, and they're set to the highest values they can be. I did that for all of them, and I don't know why it still likes to eat people so much, but it does. It
I
does.
don't think it's the highest settings that you want. I think it's the lowest settings. Lower the
Um,
moderation, the less it eats.
well, no, I mean the highest, like numbers. So, like, if
Hmm.
I think it maxes at like 5 capitalized characters in a row. Um, I'd have to relook, but I think that's how it went. Um, yeah, but anyways, off topic. Off topic.
Yep.
So, they're classified into groups. Fighters are types that rely on physical skills, and they have basically no magic. Um, there are a few exceptions to this, um, like fighters and rogues both have psionic classes. PSI warriors and I forget what they call the rogues. Uh, soul knives. Whoops. But yeah, that's as close as they get to magic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hybrids are classes that have access to magic, but are not full spellcasters. So that's basically going to be your paladins, your bards, your monks, and your artificers. Um, I
Well, I
think.
think, I mean, I think based on what I'm seeing, um, I think I probably would say the druid would probably be the best all-rounder
Okay,
just to slot into the party.
just so you know, it says clerics, druids, and warlocks. However, that's all one class. So that is the mystic. And I think
All
I already have
right.
that up. No, I closed it. Uh, in fact, uh, we were having another player called Luciana, and
Mm-hmm.
she had to bow out because her job decided to change her hours.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, she was here for character creation, but she has not managed to be able to play. So she decided to bow out. Um, however, um, she was a mystic, and mystics are kind of flexible. They're built more like warlocks. Um, if you look at the mystic table here with all the levels in it, you'll see that a lot of the features are built around how warlocks do it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they have spell slots, but they're all at a fixed level. So, like, um, if you're 3rd level, you cast every spell that you have, which are 3 slots, as 2nd level, even if they're 1st level spells. So, usually that means you're casting higher level spells, or I should say, lower level spells at a higher level.
Right.
Uh, so, it's a unique feature. The character I just helped set up, that was the Nornin character for the main campaign. They're a mystic, but they're level 2. Um, so they just got like invocations, just like warlocks do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I made
Hello,
it.
Light. Welcome.
Welcome,
Sorry.
welcome. It's okay.
No, I'm not going to be a woodland elf bard playing the flute. No.
The test crew actually already has a bard, so that's a plus. That's a plus. Um, it's a dancer bard, so
I'm gonna be a cat girl.
um, okay. So mystics, um, at first level, they're gonna pick a mystic focus, which is um basically your subclass.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, those are Lunar Mystics, Blade Mystics, Hedge Mystics, Divine Mystics, and Summoner Mystics. The Corrupted types I haven't finished yet because I don't expect anyone to actually take those. They would be really hard role playing wise. Mostly because, except for one nation, there are no like well, there's no kingdoms or nations that believe in the um, corrupted pantheon. So um, you would get noticed really quickly if you were a packed corrupted type mystic. So
Yeah, I think those would be more like hermits or, solitary people on the outside of
hermits
civilization.
or like evil characters that hide their nature. Um,
Yeah,
but that would be hard in a party. You'd get noticed if you used any of your class
probably.
features. So I haven't worked too much on those yet. Um, so you basically have five types, and as far as the breakup or breakdown goes, Lunar Mystics and Hedge Mystics are basically your Druid types. Lunar Mystics have Wild Shape. So, in fact, that's what the character, uh, who's the guest character, uh, is. They're a Lunar Mystic. Uh, Hedge Mystics are more the other aspect of being a druid, you know, being out in the wilderness, gathering supplies from nature, um, that sort of thing. That's more their line. Um,
Mm.
Blade mystics are more like warlocks because they're basically hexblade warlocks with some tweaks for the setting, basically. That's what they are. Uh, Divine mystics are not clerics, but more healers. They get
Okay.
some like special healing features. Um, they also are more focused on divine energies, so celestial magic. Um, However, as a mystic, and actually, like all the true spellcasters, um, you have access to the entire spellbook. There's no restrictions. So,
That sounds like it could be a little OP.
um, it actually works pretty well from what I've seen so far. Um, Mostly
Okay.
because it lets people be a little more individualistic. Um, you don't have like a healer who can't like deal damage.
Well, that makes sense.
So, like, as an
Mm.
example, the Nornan Lunar Mystic has Eldritch Blast as their main cantrip. However, their spells are actually like Healing Word and Cure Wounds. So they're a healer, but they can also dish out, basic damage because they have Eldritch Blast. So,
I think what makes sense for what I'm thinking at least, is probably the hedge mystic.
okay, I am going to pull up Hedge Mystic and I'm going to pull up this one. Did I move those? Yes, I did. Okay, I'm going to need to open these. Oops. Copy paste. Why do you fail me? All right. So, there's the text. This is class.
I know Eldritch Blast is good.
Oh, yeah, that's it. When you have too many tabs. Too many tabs.
It's okay, I understand.
Alright. And spellcasting. Oops. And the typos. That's real. Okay. Mystic spellcasting. Alright. And there is one other base skill. Let me close that. Oh, that's just Mystic Focus. Alright. We won't worry about that. Alright. I think that's it for basics. Let me go in here though. And we're gonna go into the secret inner workings. So, actually, alright. Use custom class. Mystic. You get D8s. You have spellcasting ability based on constitution. And you get no slots because it's handled differently.
Okay.
And saving throws are wisdom and charisma. I had to double check. Wisdom, charisma. There we go. All right. Now, when we switch back, some things will now work. If you go to the spells tab now, it actually shows Constitution as your spellcasting class
Oh, nice.
or
So
ability.
you already have that programmed.
Yep.
Oh, that's
I
great.
have to set it, but once that's done, you get hit dice, and it automatically knows what those are. And there are D8s, and you have your saves, and all that works. Oh, and I forgot one thing with Shara. Okay, you don't have a native language. I will, however, give you the basic starting language. Whoops. Where did...
And I think I get Sylvan as well for being a hedge mystic.
I haven't looked yet, but I'm going to give you the two basics. You are in the Balazar Empire, which has its own language. Wait. Why do I not see it? I think I might have accidentally erased it.
Oh no.
Luckily, I have it over here. It is Balasaran. Alright. I knew it had a name. I knew it did. Oh well. I'll fix it later. Okay.
It's all good.
Let's add the basic abilities. So we're gonna add Speech of the Woods.
Yep. And that's where we get Sylvan.
That is class and edge mystic. Alright. And yeah, Sylvan. Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Okay. And natural recovery, which you might recognize because it is actually something that I think wizards got originally in D&D.
Actually, I think that was warlocks because they have fewer spell slots
Uh,
versus wizards who are full caster. So I think this was warlock or something similar.
I want to say it was wizards, but it could be of anything. Uh, I just know I borrowed it from an existing class which does not exist in the setting, or at least not in the same form. So, okay, so we have those. Um, let's add the level 3 abilities as well. Because I'm already here. We might as well do those. Uh, so, Hedge Mystic class.
Heck yeah, I can sweet talk a cactus. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know what the cactus might tell you, but you know,
It's plausible. It's
it
possible.
is. It is. Uh,
I'm not sure how that would work out, even if I did succeed in sweet talking it, but
yeah, I'm not sure what that would look like. Nope. Nope. Uh, there's that class.
I hope you
And
know this is going to be an end goal of mine now to sweet talk a cactus.
I mean,
Just for the memes.
I'm not sure um how many cactuses are in a swamp, but we'll try to find something for you. We'll try to find it. Okay. That's that. Um, right. I think that's everything that Edge Mystic gives you. So, we can switch back
Awesome.
to regular Mystic. All right. Um, probably this is a good time to roll for our stats. Um,
Right.
so,
How do you want to do this?
um, the way to do this really is over in the corner. You have your dice here. Um,
Oh yeah,
you
I know
wanna
how to. Are we doing 46 drop the lowest?
yes.
Okay, cool. How many sets? One or two? Take the best
Um,
of the two?
well, we need to repeat it 6 times, but my brain stopped.
Um,
Sorry. Um,
Hold on one second. If I recall correctly, yeah, that's the command. There we go. Ooh, that's horrible. One, two, three, four, five. Ay, Dios mío, what are those rolls?
I mean, they're kind of all over the place. But
They
that
are.
okay. So, anyways, the 8 you can re-roll if you want.
Please.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's better.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna leave you with the 9, but that should not be an issue. Um,
It shouldn't be.
yeah, you have higher stats than anyone else in the party. Actually, I think with that
Oh,
9.
jeez.
So
Well, since Constitution is my spell casting one, I'm popping the 18 right there.
okay, and as a Chara, you actually get an
A
extra
plus
plus
one.
1 to your con. So
I'm gonna. Hmm. See. I'll put the 15 in Dex because I know I get a plus 2 to Dex. So that'll bring to a 17.
okay, I'm actually gonna put those bonuses right in. Right?
So 14 for Charisma.
Okay.
12, 11, 9. Because, yeah.
It's kind of funny. In the main cast, the barbarian has the highest strength at 14. Everyone else
Oh,
has
wow.
strength below 10.
That's
They're
so
the
funny.
weakest group. They're the weakest group. I swear. But it's okay.
Oh,
They have so far wrecked combat encounters. Usually from accidentally having like good tactics. So like they got swarmed by goblins last time, and they're still level 1. So
goodness.
you know, I thought this was all going to turn out really badly, but they managed to like get into a hallway to have the fight in. So
Oh, no.
only like 2 goblins at a time could actually enter and cause damage.
Oh,
And
no.
with 4 of them, and um, 2 out of the 4 in the encounter being ranged characters, and 2 that were melee characters, they could basically just hold this whole hallway to narrow down the encounter. And they beat like I think 10 goblins. It was crazy. It was crazy. Uh,
I bet it was.
yeah, it was something to see. For anyone that wants to, my YouTube has archives of all the previous episodes, so you can go look, including the sort of disaster that was the test crew last episode. Uh,
Goodness.
um, yeah, well, they rolled really badly on a survival check to get where they were going in the swamp. So they encountered 2 ogres, and there's only 2 of them that were in the episode. So it was roughly on par, and if they would have done some different tactics, they could probably have just barely managed it. But they did not. They did not. They passed out, and they had to be saved.
Tactics are important.
So
Yes.
yeah,
I do find it funny that my constitution is sitting here at a 19.
yep, you are very healthy. Very. I mean, that is sort of in character with classic, like, hedge wizards. I mean, they were the ones that, well, I mean, just look at, I forget his name. He's like the brown wizard in D&D, not D&D, Lord of
Lord
the
of the Rings?
Rings. Yeah,
Rhaegar, I think his name was?
yeah. I mean,
Rhaegar the Brown?
you couldn't poison him. He just
Yeah.
shrugged that right off.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that
Uh,
that's basically the classic hedge wizard. So, which is basically what you are. And actually, let me go and
I'm a
give
sneaky
you
hedge
the right
wizard.
level. Uh, you are level 3. Okay. Um, you have your armor class. Hit points. Um, you automatically get max hit points for your first one.
Right.
Uh,
Which
so
is a D8 plus 4, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, so you'll have
So
12
that's
to
12.
start. And the way that HP works after that is that you roll your d8, um,
Hmm.
but you can't roll less than half of, uh, well, the average of the dice. So with a d8, anything under 5 becomes 5. So roll that twice.
Oof.
So 5 and 5. Okay.
Why?
So 22, and then
Plus
two
the
more fours,
Constitution.
so
Yeah,
30.
which is 8. Yeah, 30.
Yeah. Okay. I think you might be the healthiest in the group. Let me pull them up again. 29, and no. What are you? No, stop it. Roll 20 is doing weird things.
When is it not?
I mean, usually it's not so bad. Let me fix these two. It still thinks they're level 1. Oh well. Oh well. Oh yeah. Tempest. Gamepedia took uh Constitution as their dump stat. So
Oh no.
they have a -1.
Oh
So
no. Game. What? What? Oh goodness. All right.
so
Cool.
they have the lowest at 22. Um but you have more than the
The tank.
paladin. So so you're very tanky at the moment, at least for HP. Uh,
Second tank. Let's go.
okay. Now that we have that, let us look at your gear. Oh, actually,
Hello,
proficiencies.
bug.
Proficiencies would be a good thing. Uh,
Those would be good.
light armor. And shields.
This is where I have to say,
Shields.
light, thick thighs save lives.
Okay, simple weapons and scimitars.
Nakami's already sitting here saying, I'm so done with her.
Oh no, no. I'm a believer, so. Okay, simple weapons and scimitars. Alright. Let's see.
I am so glad that I do have scimitar proficiency because those are a finesse weapon.
Um, yes, there are some new weapons too.
Well, I was just looking at my dump stat, which is strength, so
Yeah. Um,
may want a finesse weapon.
yeah. Actually, I have, um, well, let me finish this current thought. Oh yeah, we need to pick skills. You already get two, because you're Chara. Um, However, you get two more. Arcana is going to be probably a helpful one. Um, and nature or survival or medicine would also be a good choice. So,
Yeah. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, in fifth edition, right? In regular, just straight fifth edition,
uh huh,
you get skills from your backgrounds as well.
you
Um,
do. We'll get some
and
more.
so the thing is, I'd like to just copy those down for now, like somewhere, and then look at the skills from the background so I don't accidentally pick
Okay,
the
well,
same ones.
let's switch over to backgrounds then. Okay, so backgrounds in Celestia are split into two categories.
Okay.
Basically, there's a heritage or an origin, depending on what you would call it, and then your profession.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, basically, if you look at backgrounds in classic 5e,
Mm-hmm.
they try to do two things. They're either a profession that you're doing now, or were before you went adventuring, um, or they're about how you grew up. When I did
Right.
Celestia, I split those. So you get both. there's a
Oh,
heritage,
cool.
which is how you grew up. So, like, you might have grown up in a military family. So,
Hmm.
that's an option. Um, and then, you have like your profession, like being a mercenary or an archivist or heck, an athlete um, or even a burglar. You can be one.
Wow.
Um, and it won't really, as far as profession goes, affect the test crew too much because
Hmm.
you guys are doing one shots. So um, you don't really get to see the professions in action, but in the
Right.
downtime for the main crew, you'll actually see them doing their professions in their downtime. So,
Hmm.
however, professions usually give you equipment and not so much like skills or abilities. So,
Hmm.
except for a few exceptions, like athlete, for instance, gives um, a version of the trait that athletes with that background would get in D&D. So they do get that. But otherwise, you see, it's basically just equipment. Lots of equipment. Um,
Yeah.
and unless one of those comes up, and there's a lot more professions because obviously there's a lot more jobs than there are, how you grew up.
Right.
Most people grow up in a relatively similar way, um, at least for wherever they come from. Uh,
Hmm.
but professions are going to be more varied because people do all sorts of things. So, okay, so let us pick a heritage. Um,
So, as far as a heritage,
uh-huh.
what I'm thinking about for this particular character is kind of they're more of like a wanderer. I don't know why they kind of wandered, but they did. Um, they definitely weren't somebody in the cities too much. So that rules out quite a few right there. Like I don't think
Okay,
um an inheritor or a noble, maybe even military would work.
yeah, you're probably also not an acolyte or a commoner. Um, commoner possibly, but commoner is more someone who grew up in a town, so
Hmm.
less likely. Same thing for criminal. Um, far
Hmm.
traveler is an option, but then
Hmm.
you'd be from somewhere not from the Balazar Empire, so that would sort of skewer things a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
inheritor is an option because it's kind of regardless of where you came from, you just inherited something. Um, probably not a good choice for a series of one shots since um, it's more useful if I can use it as like a tool for storytelling. Um, and of course, uh, when you do it that way, you get all sorts of cool stuff. When you do it, as part of a one shot, it would just be like a magic item or something along those lines. Um,
Yeah.
so not as helpful. Um, military heritage is possible, um, but harder. Um,
Hmm.
noble, I mean, that's kind of out. Rural is a very easy one to do. So is seafarer. Scholar, not so much. And urchin, probably not so much. So really, it's down to rural, seafarer, um, maybe military.
I think I think I'll take the rural.
Okay,
That does seem fine. It does say that you grew up in the wilds, far from civilization. That makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
Basically, um, like real life, Uh, you grew up somewhere that was smaller and more out of the way. That's
Yeah.
basically what it's all about.
Definitely not a city girl.
Yeah. And that will give you another skill proficiency, um, including most of the ones that we just talked about. So,
Yes. But I already have stealth. And I think which one was the other one that I already have? Perception. I already have those two.
yeah,
So I can't take them again.
that's right.
So, athletics with me being strength lacking would probably not be good. So that leaves me with survival,
Eh,
animal handling, nature, or medicine. Um, let's go ahead and take survival for the rural heritage, I think.
okay. Let us. Oh, going to the wrong part.
'Cause it would always be good to be able to
Survival.
survive. Whoops. We're both clicking on that. All right.
Um, you also get a language. There is a list of languages. Um,
Um,
I don't think I linked it directly to you. Um, but they're split into groups. Um, now, one thing you could have access to is
mhm.
Druidic. Um, Druidic, obviously, is the language used by,
By Druids, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, let's go ahead and take that one just in case we do come
I,
to a Druidic enclave. And it would make sense, maybe there was an enclave near where I grew up. Maybe that's why I became a Druid myself. Maybe that's why I stayed away from cities.
yeah. Now, Druids are, again, a religion, um, rather than like a type of character. So there are
Mhm.
actually fighter druids, as crazy as that sounds, because they're not all spellcasters, and they can't all wild shape either. So obviously, because you're one of the non-wild shaping types. However, I should when I can talk, when I can talk, um, I should mention that there are two goddesses who are usually the ones that like druids tend to honor. Sort of
Mhm.
three. Um, the big one is Lavana, the lunar goddess. She's also the goddess of like the wilds. Um, and she's the goddess of change. So, wild shape in particular is a big one for her people. Um,
Mhm.
Freya, the goddess of the harvest, she's a little less wild, but, you know, still plants and, animals. So, those are big for her. Um, Hecate,
Okay.
the goddess of the sky, is another one. Um, more more how do I want to put that, less about like plants and animals, as a more mystic focused sort of druid. um I think
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to put that.
I don't think she's more of like a religious kind of druid. I think she's just more in tune with plants and animals and things like that. She knows how to survive and she knows how to heal. I think that's the kind of druid I'm going with.
Okay, and I think, yeah, I already gave you a herbalism kit, uh, but you get a musical instrument. um Now,
From my rural heritage as well.
yes. Okay, see, the reason for that is that, especially in rural areas, and in this day and time, you can't
Mhm.
expect like a bard to be in your your area. So if you want
Right.
entertainment, you're doing it yourself.
Self,
So
yes. Definitely, definitely.
it's not expert sort of, you know, playing, but he'll
Right.
get by. He'll get by. Um, instrument. There is a list of instruments, I believe. Not really. I know there's a way to get one, but I don't remember how.
Let's see.
I know they're all in the compendium. Uh, yeah, I don't need armor right now. Let's search for musical instruments.
If I recall
Maybe.
correctly, I mean, you had your flute, you had the lute, you had
Okay, this
some
is at
sort of
least a
pan.
partial list. Um, with some odd
Okay.
ones in here.
Yes.
Um,
So I think I get two based on my class and then my backgrounds,
I
if I recall correctly.
think I don't think you get one as part of the class. I think the only thing that
Okay, no,
gives
no, no, no,
you an
you're right.
instrument
It's
is
okay,
just twirl. Yeah.
cool. All right, so one.
Um,
Let me see that
I know,
list.
I know it's not on this list, but there are, um, there are a list of instruments somewhere, and a lot of those are like hand drum, um,
Hmm.
and flute. Yeah. See, I can
Um,
call those up, but
I think I'll go with the flute only because it is lighter than everything else. And I think, I would be very mindful of what I carry because I couldn't carry much.
okay. Do you want a pan flute or a flute?
Let's go pan flutes.
Okay. I will just drag and drop that because that's all in the basic rules. All right. And you already have that. You do get wilderness survival,
I've
which
already
is going to
copied
be
it
handy.
over.
Oh, okay. I didn't check. I probably should have. All right. All right. So, um, did you look at the other skills for Mystic that you wanted to take?
Well,
Because right now,
we've only got the one half of that background though. We've only got the rural. We should probably
oh,
address the other one first to
okay.
finish up the backgrounds.
All right. Now, those won't give you any um, skills usually. It's very rare. I think there are a
Mhm.
couple. Usually, they require a particular skill.
Right. It's
So, you don't have
um,
to be proficient to take that profession. It's helpful, but it's not required. So, um,
so I think for what I'm doing, the ones that stand out to me so far are like maybe the explorer profession would work. Um, let's see. Let me see what the hermit's about. No, 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 no. Um,
where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Um, I mean, explorer might work. Hermit, possibly. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't
if you
want
want to,
the hermit.
um, hunter might work. Um, pioneer is another option. Uh, let's see. or even just villager if you wanted. Um, I mean, technically, any of them are gonna work, but well, except like courtier or well, you're probably not an engineer either. I wouldn't think, at
Probably
least.
not.
Um,
Um, I think. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Pioneer actually may be exactly what I'm looking for
okay.
because it's got that survival ability, right?
Yes.
Um,
And that one does actually have a trait.
yeah, the handyman by necessity. Because the only other one that I was looking at was the hunter profession. I thought I could either do like the hunter, as in maybe there's some wild animals or something that are troubling areas that have gone almost rabid that I could go and take care of to, restore the balance and the peace of the land. Because while there
Yep.
is, killing, for the sake of eating, there's difference between being part of the cycle of nature and then being rabid.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
that
there
also could work.
there are also a lot of monstrous creatures that plague people. Lots of plaguing of the peoples.
I
Um,
think I'll go with the hunter profession. I think that's probably a little bit more of where I'm going, you know,
okay.
heal the land, heal the people, protect them, kind of druid.
All right. We'll
That may
switch
work,
to
yeah.
hunter.
Sorry about that. I was still kind of looking these over.
It's okay. You do get an ability with that too. I probably should have just retooled that one, but oh well.
Okay.
Hunter profession.
I'm like, kind of excited about this.
You should be. It's gonna be fun, I think. So I always think it's gonna be fun, and then you never know what is gonna happen.
Definitely. I'm trying to purposely be different from the rest of the group and, try to make something a little bit more unique that you haven't tested before.
Yeah. Well, mystics need a lot of love because it's a completely new class. It's not really a warlock, though they have a lot of warlock style. And they're not clerics, and they're not really druids, though they can feel like it. Um,
Yeah.
so they're a nice combination that um, you know they are a mix. Let's put it that way. They're
Mhm.
kind of they're kind of mutts. But I haven't had any real testing, of course, because
Yeah.
you guys are the first ones to go through it. So, uh,
Ooh, fun.
yeah. All right. And should
Not a
probably
28th
keep
page
that up.
unthink mess. Oof. No, no, no. I think this is a homebrew Gandalf.
Yes, it is. Mystics are a new class that I put together.
Yeah, this is all completely something that she's homebrewing and we're testing it out. So this is going to be either going to be epic and amazing, or it's probably, it has the possibility of also falling apart.
It shouldn't fall apart, because
I
it
have
is heavily based on existing classes. But
yes, I
um,
have faith in your ability to balance.
hopefully, um, now, obviously, I haven't tested, and I'm not sure how exactly they stack up to the normal um, characters class
Mhm.
character classes yet. But
Right?
yeah, they should feel pretty good in general.
Cool.
least. Um, all right. And back to the question of skills, because
Yes.
let's
So
finish
I
that part.
choose two. Choose
Yes.
two. I already have perception, stealth, and survival.
Yep.
So
Now, you do have good um, charisma, so
mhm.
that's an option for you. I think our paladin has pretty high
While nature seems like it would
charisma too.
be beneficial, unfortunately, it's intelligence based, and I'm at 0 with intelligence modifier. So I'm thinking, um, animal handling would probably be one I have to take.
Okay.
And then no, not animal handling. I'm gonna take medicine,
Okay.
and I am going to take
Actually, for the
investigation,
medicine.
which will probably help me when tracking prey.
Um, possibly.
When
Depends
tracking
on the
and invest.
situation.
Yeah, it depends.
I mean, those are always the two hard skills to balance: investigation and perception, because they sort of overlap in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but it's one thing to be able to see it and one thing to be able to figure it out and find it out.
Yep. Um, wow. Actually, this is apparently the party of high charisma, because there's you with a 14, Tempest with a 17, and Nexic with a 16. So,
I still want Arcana. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, do I really go investigation or should I just go Arcana?
I mean, if, well, obviously for this character, um, they're not gonna get to like the level to be able to use it, but
Right.
they can counter spell, and that would need Arcana. So, well, at least the way I run counterspell. Ah, though they're never going to be a great counterspeller compared to sorcerers. Sorcerers here
Yeah.
get counterspell as an ability, so
Yeah. I keep changing this. I'm sorry. I'm dropping investigation. I'm going back to animal handling. That's it. Those are my skills. We're done.
okay,
Not
okay,
changing it again.
all right. Let me keep this up and put this to the side in case we need to look at them. All right.
Uh,
Okay. Well, while you're thinking about that, you do get some spells. And I think it's time. Oh, no. Nope. We need two. Well, we need one thing first. Um, you get a boon. Um,
ooh.
there's familiar boons, blade boons, tomb boons, talisman boons, spectral boon, and token boons. Uh, talisman and token can be given to other people, as I recall. So
Hmm.
you can help out other people with that. Um, Spectral boon never really changes. It's like you take it and that's it forever. So it's unique in that sense. The others can grow using invocations, but spectral boon allows you to basically leave your body and sort of teleoperate. So you can send your mind out and
You can like astral project, but tiny.
kinda, kinda. It's just your mind that goes somewhere. So it's not all of you. Um, so, you lay down in the tent and then go into the dangerous cave as your spectral self, uh, as sort of a floating brain that's spectral and people can't really see. And you can cast spells through it and other things, um, which is kind of cool. It basically puts you out of danger, but it's kind of energy intensive, and it's sort of a one trick thing. If your enemies ever found out how you did it, they'd basically come hunting your real body. Because, unless they're dumb, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Um, but it is an interesting ability. Um, gives you that, like, remote engagement capability, um, which is kind of cool. You get a form of familiar boon, but your form of it you can't use invocations with. So, um,
Hmm.
you could take full familiar boon and sort of double down, so you can get invocations. Um, so it's an option. I'm not gonna say it's your best option because it sort of overlaps. So, but
It's
you know,
sort of what?
it sort of overlaps.
Hmm.
Because the only real difference between familiar boon as it is as a boon and what you get as a class feature is that this one can be improved and yours can't. So it's
I'm
basically
just. Hmm.
it's basically the same thing though. So um, if you don't want to enhance it with invocations, and there are some, actually, I'll pull up the Mystic Invocations list. You'll see that down here there are 3 boons you can get for familiars, um, if you take the full version of Familiar Boon. Um, none of them, well, I mean, Empowered Familiar is probably pretty useful at times because your familiar can attack. And unlike the really crappy way that 5e handles pets, you don't have to give uh, up an action to be able to use a pet. So, um, they are independent creatures that you can direct verbally. So, or even mentally, depending on.
I know it's probably not the best option to take, but I think I am going to take that familiar boon just because the thematic way that this character is developed, I think she would be closer to this familiar than most anything else. I think um as she was wandering around hunting things, she would have developed a way of working with it, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. Alright. Familiar Boon. Where did I put it? I have not finished the list, but there will be a list of creatures eventually.
Coming
Um,
soon, TM.
yeah. Well, I was using a site to help me with um, classifying the um, the rankings for
Hmm.
creatures because it made it really easy to search by CR, and that's the limit um, for interacting with creatures for like find familiar and like wild shape and all that stuff. However, recently it had issues. um, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Kobold Fight Club, but it's the site I was using, and unfortunately now most of the time it doesn't work for me. So
Hmm.
it just shows me no creatures.
Oh
None.
no.
So not very helpful. Yeah. it was really nice in the past, especially when I was making like encounters. But even if I
Mhm.
just wanted like a list of like all creatures sorted by like CR,
Mhm.
it was really handy. So I could tell it like all beasts that are, you know, from this range to that range and organized
Mhm.
all nice. But I can't do that now. So unfortunately, that makes it harder to create my list. So, uh, but um, I could probably work with you on exactly what sort of creature you want as your familiar. Um, I mean, obviously, there's the normal ones. You're gonna see a lot of like cats and birds, um, frogs, rats.
Is it stereotypical for a cat to have a cat?
I mean, you'd probably get along pretty well. So,
I mean, yeah, yeah. I
um,
mean,
however, I will point out a few unique creatures that you'd also have access to. Um,
okay.
let me see if I have actually listed them or not. I don't know if I. Okay, I did put together the page for one. Sort of. Dragonettes. Dragonettes are basically tiny dragons. I have a picture I can't use in the wiki. That was the basis for dragonettes. But I don't know if I have it handy. Let me see if I
I mean,
can
she
find
does
it.
wander, so and hunt, so
Oh, I do.
there's a
I
possible
do. Let
there's
me
a
show
possibility.
you
Oops.
what they look like. Uh,
Okay.
toss it in Discord. Those are some dragonettes. Oops.
Oh my goodness, they're so cute.
Yeah, for reptiles, they're very cute.
They are. They're like tiny miniature dragons. They're like pseudo dragons almost.
Yes. Well, pseudo dragons, at least in D&D, are more chromatic, um, or resplendent, I guess you could say. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that might be the way to put it. Um, these are more realistic, less colorful, but um, you know, they're tiny dragons. So, um, but that's an option for you. Uh, another option. I do not think I have an image for it, but I might. Nope, not that one. Yeah, too far. Sometimes when I click my mouse's back button, it takes me back twice.
Oh
Uh,
no.
um, the other one, I think it's the Enchi. Yes, it's the Enchi. I don't think I have a picture of that to show you. I'll double check. I know I grabbed a bunch of the pictures from the original version of the bestiary. Because when I first created the bestiary, um, it was for Fate and not D&D. So um,
Mm.
I'm translating them over. Um, and I had pictures in the GM only area that were my concepts that I used because I don't have rights to them and I can't show them. Um, but it's the concept art, so it's what's in my mind when I think of them. Um, however, Enchi are like the size of a small dog or a house cat, but they have 6 limbs, with 2 of those being wings. Um, and they look like a cross between a bird and a cat.
Like
Um,
if I picked a bird, I'd want a bird about the same size, but with like a huge tail. Like I would want a 2 foot tail on this bird.
let me let me grab a page to show you. So I can actually pull up the original picture uh, from the original site.
I mean, think of an overgrown raven, almost the size of like a macaw, a little bit bigger.
Uh, let's see. Hey, Sherry. Oh, actually, I know how I can get this really quick. Well, quicker. Uh, since this is a more unique option, I want to show it to you before you make up your mind.
Okay.
All right, all right. Uh, come on. Okay. Where did it put it? Where did it put it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Let me toss this in Discord. Uh, here you go. That is an Enchi.
I will politely pass on Inchy.
Okay.
It's not my type of bird.
All right. Well, it is a cat bird, so it fills 2 niches. Double duty. Um,
Meow. Oh goodness.
um, I don't think I have too many others that are probably suitable. Well, okay, you could have a really strange pet. Um, it's not flight capable, but it is a theropod, a protobird. Um, actually, let go back too far. Uh, let me grab this one. Uh, right. I'm gonna have to give you the image because it's the
Right.
fastest way to describe what these guys look like. I'm positive I don't have it downloaded right now. Uh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. I mean, these are not going to be cute, but oh, I already did have it. Okay.
Everybody has their own definition of cute. You know, you
Um,
let me decide.
well, if you think turkeys are cute, then this is quite possible.
Um, um, that looks more like a dinosaur crossed with a
Well, yes, it is a
turkey.
protobird. Um, theropods are dinosaurs, basically. So,
So I'm not
um,
wrong.
yes, it it should look like a dinosaur that has feathers. Or
I'll take the cat.
okay,
If I can't get, a big overgrown macaw, then
well,
I'll take the cat.
I just wanted to show you some of the more distinct ones. Now there are some that I don't. I might have uh, up. Ooh, actually, there are some kitties that are in the setting that are options.
Are they like unique to the setting?
Well, they're not normal for D&D.
Oh goodness.
Let me grab all the pictures. All the pictures. Okay, there's that one.
Hope you guys enjoy food ASMR. I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
It happens. It happens.
Like I just got off of work like a couple hours ago now, and yeah, I didn't really get too much for lunch.
I know how that is. Okay. Okay. I have all the kitties. All of them. All right. Let me get rid of that guy. Right. I'm gonna throw these in Discord. Sorry I can't show the stream. There's one.
Ooh.
Uh, where is it?
It almost looks like a snow leopard.
They are based on real animals. So, well, not real animals as we know them, because sadly they are no longer with us. But they were real animals. Here's that. There is one more. Oh, there it is. That one should probably look the most familiar.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not a turtle light. I like the first one the best, I think.
Okay. It is a distant relative of the bobcat, at least for us. For them, it is called Ethereum. So,
Okay, cool.
and I will note that. Oops. All right. All right. That's that. Now I think you need spells. Yeah, I think that's where we are. Um, there is a way to get a full list of spells. And I think I pulled it up before. Let me see if I can find the link. Yes. All right. Technically, it should pull up the list of ranger spells, but it fails, so it pulls up the entire list. So,
Oh, wow.
all right. But I linked to that, and that will give you the full list of all spells in probably the easiest format I know of. So,
Goodness, that is the most comprehensive list I've seen.
yes, it is very complete. Um, However, you get 2 cantrips and 3 spells, and you get second level spell slots. So, let's put that in. That's 3. and you know, 4 spells total. So,
Right. So I have
oh,
two
yeah,
cantrips known, right?
hang on one sec. One sec. I have 3 slots. Level 2. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Distracted.
Okay.
And actually, let me set that because. Alright. And yeah, 2 cantrips.
So any cantrips from this
Yep.
list.
Yep. Eventually, I'll make a list that is a little bit different. Um, Probably. I might just keep using that. Because it might be easier. But
Um,
yeah, the idea is technically all spellcasters use the same spells. So,
mhm.
therefore,
um,
they have the whole list.
I think I'm gonna take Firebolt as one.
Okay? And let me add those because I'll just pull them over. All right. Hey, stop being weird. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm guessing that's your attack spell.
Yeah, definitely. And then I think I'm gonna take. Hmm, there's one cantrip that I remember. It's like you could do several things with it, but you could dry yourself with it. Like you could warm yourself
Oh,
or something.
there's 2 sort of related ones. Well, technically 3. There's a druid one, which I don't remember the name of. There's the cleric
Right.
version, which is thaumaturgy, and there's the other one. Uh, Let me. Oh, I guess I don't have the link up anymore.
It's not thaumaturgy. I'm
Uh,
reading it now.
yeah.
I thought it was, and I'm looking at prestidigitation because I
Yes, that's
thought it
it.
was that. I
I
thought it
think
was
it
that.
is. I think it is.
Um,
There are 3 versions though.
yeah,
So,
it's weird. You instantly clean or soil an object no larger than a cubic foot.
yes.
Chill, warm up, or flavor 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour.
Yeah.
Hmm, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll take prestidigitation because there are some other effects you could do, um, which could help. So yeah, I think I'll take that.
All right. Let's drop that in. And then you get uh, 4 spells. And these can be a combination of first and second level up. So,
Okay.
um, you might want some healing spells since you're the only one in the group that can heal,
Right, right.
I think, at
And
all.
also the yeah.
Because I think Nexic gets some spells. But I think, yeah, yeah, he has all attack spells. So,
Oh goodness.
yeah,
I
Thunderclap,
am the healer.
Green Flame Blade, comprehend languages. So I guess that's not a combat spell technically. Uh, Thunder
See, I
Wave
was gonna
and
I
Chromatic
was gonna
Orb. So
I was gonna take comprehend languages. So definitely okay, cool. That removes that one.
yeah, you have
Um
you have some invocations, so you do have some other options there for languages. Because if I remember
Mhm.
right, there is an invocation which is tongues. You can comprehend all languages, speak them, and write them for 1 hour by using a spell slot, which is probably not the best use of a spell slot, but it's an
Probably not.
option.
Well, it depends on what happens.
Well, yeah, it's basically being able to use comprehend languages in an instant for an hour uh, without using um, like
Ooh.
the usual spell. So I'm just mentioning that because we're talking about it. So, but yeah, that's an option for you. Spell wise, you probably do want some healing spells. As the only one that can use them. Well, I think. What did Tempest take? Tempest should have some spells too. Oh, they took Eldritch Blast, Dancing Lights, Chaos Bolts, Charm Person, Color Spray, Entangle, Cloud
I'm
of
gonna take
Daggers.
prayer of healing. That's like a big one.
Okay,
Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range regain hit points equal to
yeah,
2d8 plus your spell casting modifier.
yeah. That's usually, I believe, used after combat. But
If everybody's going down at once, it may be a good, keep everybody up.
yeah, that's an option. Uh, oh, that's why. That's why. Casting time 10 minutes. So,
Oh, shoot. Never mind. Never mind.
okay. Yeah, that's why it's used after combat usually. I mean, you can still take it. It's very effective, but it's usually to put people back together after combat. So,
Well, there are two that I'm looking at right now that are nice, but they're not healing. I'm trying to find the healing ones first. Um,
yeah, there's a whole bunch of potential healing spells. Um,
yeah.
However, I think Summoner probably has the best options for healing spells. Um, Unfortunately. Well, they're not spells, they're class features, but they have unique abilities when it comes to that. So,
Okay,
which is
there's three
ironic.
that I'm
But
looking at.
now, remember, you're going to cast these as a second level spell. So,
Mm,
even if they're first level, you're going to basically upcast them when you cast them. So, even like Healing Word, which usually only gives back like 4 or 5 HP, for you would be like 8
Yeah.
or 9. So, it's more effective in your hands.
Yeah, I think I know the ones that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Healing Word,
Okay?
and this may be a little strange. I'm gonna take Pass Without Trace.
Okay?
Um, I am going to take um hold on. Mm, Invisibility.
Okay? So, just so you know, Tempest actually does have invisibility.
Oh, okay. Then I
So,
won't take that one.
in fact, he spent most of last episode invisible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were going through the Rethos stronghold, and he went in first, invisible, and
Oh,
Nexic went in just by chatting up the guards.
oh my goodness.
it, it was kind of crazy because I kept jumping back and forth between them.
Um, let's see. So how many do I have? I only have two then?
Yep, two.
Pass without trace, healing. Okay, healing word. Um, I will take mm, speak with animals.
Okay, technically, you get something along the same lines with your class feature.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'm
Yeah,
sitting here just thinking along. Then do we have animal messenger?
no, you don't have anything like that. Well, you could send your familiar off, um, but unless you take the invocation, where is it? Uh, Bond of Voices. You couldn't really like give a message through your familiar.
Hmm. Um, that's the case.
If you want another take on the concept, um, ironically, uh, Luciana, who was going to be in the campaign, made a mystic, but was a summoner with, ironically, the same heritage exactly. Rural heritage with hunter profession.
My
Uh,
gosh.
so you're pretty similar in concept. She took, uh, let's see, she took Hex and Magic Missile and Alter Self, besides Healing Word.
Um, I think I'm gonna take silence,
Okay.
and I will
Oops.
also take. Let's see. Oh, talk about sneaking. Cast silence, pass without trace. The entire party goes right through. Um, let's see. Uh, let me see. I'll
Oh,
take
I
lesser
did.
restoration.
Okay. Uh, there we go. Boop.
So I can cure status conditions, I can heal, and I can sneak really, really well.
Okay. So you have spells. It's time to look at equipment, I think. Yes. All right.
Alrighty.
We're getting near the end. Uh, I'm gonna. There's our. There's automatically a bunch of stuff um, from Hunter and Rural Heritage that you're gonna get just by default. Um,
Okay.
I think. Did I already give you that? No, I did not. Should. Okay, let me give you the herbalism kit, just because I think you get that a couple times over. um, Now, technically, you get a crossbow and 20 bolts usually, but
Mhm.
you're starting at third level, so you might not choose to have those anymore. You
Mhm.
do have firebolt, which sort of takes the place of like needing a crossbow. So, actually, I think you would do more damage with firebolt than you would with the crossbow. So,
Yeah, which would also cut down on the weight that I carry. So
yeah. You automatically get a scimitar. So let me give you that.
I will take that.
Uh, scimitar. And um, I haven't changed the listing yet, but you get a Scholars Pack or an Explorers Pack, which for you would probably be an Explorers Pack
Yeah.
because you're not really the Scholar type. So,
Nope, I'm not. Unless you're talking about the School of Hard Knocks.
well, maybe. You
Then,
never know.
I'm a graduate.
Yeah. Um, for some reason, uh, at least as far as I know, Roll20 does not automatically list everything in the Explorers pack. So I'll do that later. Um,
No
but
problem.
that's kind of tedious, and we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
You get a shield, so let me toss that in. Uh,
And a spellcasting focus.
yes. Um, Now that means things like wands or rods or uh, all sorts of other things. Uh, they actually have an item for it. No, they do not. I think
Wait,
it would just be like wands and such. Yeah.
the last caster that I did had a crystal that she stuffed inside the top of like a quarterstaff and used that for her focus.
Yeah. Um, it really doesn't matter what type it really is. Sometime I'll I'll get around to writing up my take on, well, probably soon. Probably soon I'll get to my take of focus items,
Mhm.
because the rules are really squishy on using focuses in general. So
Yeah, they kind of are.
yeah, I'm planning to fix that. I'm planning to fix that. Um, for the most part, most true spellcasters in this setting don't really use them. Mystics have them as an option, um, because I, I hate to say it, but they're often considered the um, worst spellcaster by the others. Not that they are, but that's how they're looked at by sorcerers or wizards. So,
Mhm.
uh, because of that, they often take focuses to help them out. Uh, but we don't actually even need to put one of those on here right now. And the other big thing is going to be armor. Now, I literally redid all armor in Celestia. It bears
Wow.
no real resemblance to D&D. So, um,
Okay.
in fact, it has two values. It has AC and AR. And I should explain what that means. AC is just like normal. Uh, you know, you got to roll higher than it to, to hit something. AR fills a range between AC and AR. Hits that fall into that gap there
Hmm.
get reduced damage. So, uh, as my example that I use, someone, well, you're wearing a gambeson, which is the lightest armor in the game, and basically the replacement for padded armor, because that was pretty much the name for padded armor. D&D just uses padded armor rather than saying gambeson for some reason. I don't know why. So I use the name. Uh, Gambesons give you an AC of 11 and an AR of 13. So someone hits you with, say, a 12. Um, you subtract 2 damage uh, from the 13 down to 12, which is 2 steps. So whatever damage they deal goes down by 2.
Cool. All right, that makes sense. So damage reduction, really.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's it's not given as like a raw number, but as a range between 2 values. So, but still, if someone rolls like a 16 and you have Gambeson, so 11 and 13, they're still hitting you for full damage. So you want those numbers to be as high as possible. Uh,
Hmm.
for light armor, this is mostly due to adding in your dexterity. So just like with AC, AR goes up with your dexterity because that range is still the same. So we just move the range up. That's how that works. Um, so with a Gambeson, and say, I think you have
Some
a
pretty decent
3.
decks.
Yeah, you have a 3 as your bonus. So you would have 14 and, come on, brain, 16 for your AC and your AR. Uh,
Is that a curious I see?
yes. And
So that's got a. Go ahead.
you actually get to choose any type of light armor you might want. Uh, and there's a range, and they're all going to be a little bit unique. None of them are identical in effect, or weight, or cost. Now, technically, I've just rebalanced all the costs, so
Hmm.
um, you have money to get any type of light armor you might want.
Let me see that AC 13 AR 17 one, second from the bottom.
The Curious. That is
Yes.
the first level of plate armor. Unlike in D&D, or at least 5e D&D, um, there is light plate armor, which is the Curious. Basically, it's a gambeson that you wear a um, plate, breastplate,
Okay.
kind of like conquistadors would wear.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That's sort of the thought for those. They have, because it's plate, it has really high AR. Because they'll absorb a lot more damage than typical. That's also why they're really expensive. Um, but because it's just a gambeson with a 2 pound metal plate on it, it is kind of light.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's only like breastplate shirt kind of thing over it. So,
Yeah. Yep.
and that would make sense for my character if she were going after a dangerous beast. She would at least want her main body protected,
Yeah.
but still be able to move.
Yep. Uh, let's see. I know this is gonna sound odd, but to make this easier on me, I put it in as studded leather, and then I
Okay,
retool it.
that's fine.
because the game will automatically assume certain things when I put that in.
Mhm.
And that gives me an easier base to work with because it's already going to know certain things. And I can then go and change the weight. And it's already going to put your armor class in, I think. Not quite the right one, though. I thought. I wonder if that actually. Yes, it actually does, but that value is wrong. Why are you wrong? Oh, the shields! That's
The
why.
shield. Oh yeah,
Because you
that's
get the
right. Yeah.
shields. Okay, it is right. It is right. Okay, so,
Okay, cool.
all right.
So not bad AC.
Yes, you're going to have a pretty high AC because you have really good dexterity and probably one of the two best options for light armor. And with so many options for light armor in Celestia, um, light armors overlap with medium armors, and medium armors overlap with heavy armors. So, regardless of what type you can wear, there's going to be a lot of overlap at the bottom and the high end. So,
Okay, yeah.
all right, I think that's the basics. I know you get a bunch of other equipment based on uh, these, but I can pretty much do these without you here for any of those
Right.
because there's nothing, to really pick. It's mostly
Right, because
me doing the work of carrying the items over and getting them all set up. Uh, now, some things you're gonna get, like the net, I'm gonna have to do a little work on, because for whatever reason, nets are really, really heavy in D&D 5e.
yeah, it's because, 10 feet of rope is what, 50 pounds or something? It's stupid.
Yeah, I looked up real world weights for like a one person weighted net, and it's like 5 pounds. And that's not like a modern one. That's like an antiquity one. So
Yeah, that would make sense.
yeah, I need to adjust those by hand when I put those in, because I've had that a lot. There are several people who end up with nets because I think it's mercenaries that get them too,
Yeah.
something like
The
that.
one thing I the one thing I would have to choose is like a trophy from an animal you've killed. Like I'd just like take a pelt and like from like some sort of large wolf that I've killed,
Um,
protecting some village or something from it.
uh,
Something like that.
let's see. Uh, trying to think of a good example. Uh, I mean, there are wolves and dire wolves. And you could probably take a dire wolf, I think.
Yeah, because I tell you what I'd use it for immediately. I would just use it as a bedroll, like
Yeah,
turn it into the inside lining of a bedroll and be nice and warm.
well, that's true. That's true. Um, I mean, there's a lot of potential creatures. And every time I look, I'm reminded of how many things I need to work on still.
Well, it's okay. We can just call it as one pelted,
Yeah,
creature, and we can decide that off stream.
sure. Uh, creature pelt. And I won't even put weight because I'm not sure what that would even be off the top of my head. So, we're not gonna worry about that. Um, but yeah, I think this is everything we need.
Yep.
Trying to think if there's anything I've missed.
I'm not sure, but I'm excited.
I think the guys are gonna be happy to have some more help. Uh, in fact, wait, what? Oh, he had half plate. That's it. I'm gonna have to redo his equipment a little. Uh, for our paladin. Um, because
What's
yeah,
his AC?
uh, because it's using the old rules before I
Oh
changed them.
goodness.
He only had a 13, but he
Oh
had a
my.
much higher AR. He actually had an AR of 21. So,
Whew.
but that was with the old rules. When I recently changed all the armors out, I'm not even sure uh, exactly. I mean, the closest, the the closest to what he has is probably uh, the breastplate, maybe.
Mhm.
Though he could take some other options and have a much higher AC now. Um, yeah, I think the reason he took that was to get a little dex. He only gets 1 point of dex,
Oh my goodness.
but that was still a bonus he wanted to use. So
Makes
yeah,
sense.
could give him the breastplate. Okay, Adios back. Adios back. Uh, give him the breastplate or Habrick or even some Brigadine, depending on what he wants. And I have to remember that we need to change that. Um,
Um, Everything sounds good. We start next Wednesday, right?
yes, yes.
Cool.
And it is next Wednesday at 7, I believe.
I'm really excited. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Um,
No problem. No problem. I have maybe a fourth person. Um, they're on hiatus. So,
oh
um,
goodness.
yeah, there is one other person we might have for the test crew, but they're on hiatus, so they haven't given me an answer yet. But I have been looking forward to having a bigger group. The guys definitely need some help. Um,
Well, I certainly will be here Wednesday at 7 p.m. But I will tell you, I may be like 5 minutes getting here because I won't get off work until 7 immediately. So it's just me walking from one room to the other. So,
that should be fine. Um, it it takes a little while for us to get started, anyways. We're rarely on time. I would like us to be more on time, but 5 minutes is nothing. My
okay.
intro is basically 5 minutes long if I let it go all
All
the
right.
way. So
All right, no problem.
yeah,
Well, I'm gonna if unless there's anything else that you need from me, I'm gonna step off. I do want to go get a couple of things done because
yeah,
I got on stream immediately after work and there are a few things I need to do.
I know. I understand completely. I need dinner anyways. I haven't eaten either. So
All right. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your stream, however long you keep streaming for.
well,
Hope you enjoy dinner.
thanks. I think I will end the stream. I would usually at 8 anyways. So
Oh, okay. So roundabout perfect timing.
yes. I mean, we went for 2.5 hours almost. That's kind of long for setup, but there is some complexities. So, we're just hashing those out. That's all.
Yeah. And I didn't know anything about your setting. It's new system, so
Yep.
yeah,
I
it's to
mean,
be expected.
um, feel free to browse the wiki. There's way more information than most players ever need in there, because that's basically my notes. So you
Okay,
get to
cool.
see most of the stuff I've written down on paper, as is. So
Awesome. Well, I certainly will. And you have a good one.
have fun.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay. So stream. I think I am ending here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know we couldn't always talk to you guys. Sadly, that's the way it goes. We kind of have to focus on what we're doing when we're doing this sort of stuff. So, sorry we can talk more. I will have us raid someone. Be sure to come back and watch the first episode with Elliriana. I flopped that. Yep. It was all good until the last syllable, and then I flopped that. Sorry. So sorry. Anyways, yeah. With her, Gamopedia and Brock VT. Um, they're the test crew now. So, yeah. I am going to find us someone to raid. Come on. Oh. Wow. My list is kind of short today. However, one of the people I play D&D with, not in my campaign, but as a player with, is online. So I think we will raid her. Because I don't seem to have too many people on my list that are actually going live right now. So, yeah. Let's raid her. I hope you guys enjoy her content. She's doing art, so it should be fun to watch. And yeah, next Wednesday, you get to see the test crew. And before that, this Sunday at 8 p.m. is the other Celestia campaign, the main crew. They're going on the third episode now. So that'll be this Sunday, and we have a special guest. It should be lots of fun. So hopefully you come for that too. And I stream almost every day. I take Fridays off. And it used to be Sundays, but now I have the Celestia main crew on Sundays. So one day off these days. So yeah, I think that covers it. I hope you all have a good night. Take care. See you later. Goodbye. I'm gonna see about moving her over to it. If she can jump farther than... Oh my god! Back! No! Jump back! No! No!
Oh, Nakami, welcome. Thank you for the